Young and the Restless weekly spoilers for September 15th through the 19th see Jack Abbott, Peter Birdman, issuing a very stern warning, and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, is tattling on somebody, but the question is, who? On Monday, September 15th, we've got Season 52, Episode 240 of Vi and Ard. Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, tells Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinel, about Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer's $5 million contract he signed with Victor Newman. Eric Braden and her mom defends him. Victoria gives Kyle credit and thinks that this proves his devotion to Claire, him taking this big risk. But at the same time, Victoria is not happy to hear that her dad was involved in this. Claire wonders if Kyle is obsessed with her, jealous, and just being too much because of how he reacted to her being friends with Holden Novak, Nathan Owens. Claire says she never got crazy like that, even when Summer Newman, Allison Langer, was around all the time, talking to Kyle and being friendly, and sometimes more than friendly. Victoria advises Claire to give Kyle a chance, and she shocks Claire because she says Kyle told her he's never felt this way about anybody, not even Summer. Victoria advises Claire to think very carefully and maybe give Kyle a chance. Meanwhile, Kyle runs into Nate Hastings, seen Dominic, over at Crimson Lights. Kyle is worried that Nate is going to punch him in the face, but Nate says no. They are both Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver's victims. Nate then says that Claire honestly is the real victim. Kyle asks him about Holden and says that Holden has glommed onto Claire. Nate says he thinks Holden is very sketchy and still very much into Audra. Kyle talks about Audra causing issues for him and Claire, but he hopes they can get past it. Nate says that people warned him about Audra and he should have listened. But now, Nate says he is completely done with her for good. That's when Victoria and Claire join them, and Nate takes off with Victoria. Claire asks if Kyle was talking to Nate about Holden. Kyle is deflecting. This is a touchy subject for her, and he knows that. Kyle just doesn't want Holden hurting Claire, but she says she can protect herself. The person she's not sure she can trust is Kyle. He's begging Claire to do a reset and let them start over as a couple. Michael Baldwin, Christian Jules Leblig, talks with Phyllis and says he took a job with Kane. She guesses that Michael will be Kane's fixer since he already has a lawyer, Amanda Sinclair, Michelle Morgan. Michael talks about putting everything behind them, about how mad Phyllis was when he was defending Sharon Newman, Sharon case. Michael then says that Lauren Fenmore, Tracy Bregman, doesn't know he's working for Kane and that he's keeping it on the down low. That's when Phyllis starts to smell a rat. Michael starts making excuses about protecting Lauren and plausible deniability. But Phyllis calls BS and tells Michael if he doesn't come clean, she's going to go to Kane and tell him that Michael cannot be trusted and is up to something shady. Meanwhile, Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, talks to Devin Hamilton, Bryden James, wondering if her kids will forgive Kane. Devin wants to know if the video Kane made softened up the kids or if it softened up Lily. She thinks that Kane has mishandled everything. Lily thinks it might just be better if the kids cut Kane out of their lives permanently. Devin says, been there, done that. Did it with Tucker McCall, Trevor Street John. Lily wonders if Devin might be encouraging her about Kane, but Devin says, no, this is just a conversation. Lily vows that she is done with her ex-husband on Young and the Restless. Amanda talks to Kane about him letting Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, have the AI program and whether that's dangerous. Kane says that Billy only thinks he's controlling the program. It'll be Kane secretly controlling it to do what he wants. Kane then asks Amanda if she'll get close to Lily to advocate for him. Amanda actually agrees to try. She goes over and runs into Devin and Lily. Amanda and Devin snark at each other until she asks to talk to Lily alone. Lily asks Amanda if she still misses Devin, especially since Amanda had made a crack about Abby Newman, Melissa Ordway. Kane then texts Billy to ask if they are still a go. On Tuesday, September 16th, it's Season 52, Episode 241 of Young and the Restless. Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, is not going to budge with Billy. Sally refuses to endorse anything that involves Billy working with Kane, and she really wants Billy to stay away from Kane. All of this has already screwed up Abbott.com. The funding's gone, there's no company for her to run. and Billy is just gambling with both their futures, and she's not having it. Sally goes over to talk to Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, who asks Sally if Billy's all right. Sally says Billy is not all right. He is making the biggest mistake of his life, and I tend to agree, and he's made some big ones. Somebody pushes Kyle to take the high road. It could be Claire, Nate, Holden, or Audra. Chelsea Lawson Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, is in a tough position because of Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and this most likely involves the Newman war with Billy, and maybe Newman Media published something else crappy about him. Wednesday, September 17th, Season 52, Episode 242 of Young and the Restless. Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, gets a warning from Jack. I think he may tell her that Victor is coming after Jack, coming after Abbott, coming after the family. He just wants to let Nikki know that he's not going to take it, that he will retaliate if Victor wants war with the family. That's what he will get. Victor is multitasking, going up against multiple enemies at once. Kane encourages Billy to patch things up with Jill Abbott, Jess Walton. Jill is in town soon. Kane also meets with Billy this week and asks him how long he's dreamed about taking down Victor. Kane tells Billy, "Say yes, and let's start dismantling Newman Enterprises." On Thursday, September 18th, Season 52, Episode 243 of Young and the Restless, Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, meets with Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziaday, behind Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks back. She wants to know if Daniel did what she asked, and he says, "Yes, Tessa doesn't know that I'm here." He didn't tell her. Daniel and Mariah have a very tense talk, but in the end, it may be just her wanting to make sure that Tessa has a support network if Maria is indeed going away, like she talked about. The week of September 15 to 19 on The Young and the Restless promises nothing short of explosive fireworks in Genoa City. Betrayals, secrets, and ruthless power moves threaten to tear families apart and change the town's dynamics forever. With Jack Abbott's dire warning, Phyllis Summers' game-changing betrayal, and Victor Newman plotting with his signature ruthlessness, every move this week has devastating ripple effects. Buckle up, because chaos is about to be unleashed. The week kicks off with Jack Abbott standing at a crossroads. After weeks of watching Phyllis meddle in dangerous games, Jack finally issues a warning. In a tense and emotional showdown at society, Jack reminds Phyllis that loyalty is everything. He warns her that if she crosses him again, or continues scheming with dangerous allies, their fragile truce will be over. Phyllis, never one to take kindly to ultimatums, smirks her way through Jack's lecture. But viewers will notice her carefully veiled defiance. While Jack may think his words struck fear, Phyllis has already set another plan into motion. Meanwhile, Victor Newman secretly meets with Michael Baldwin to discuss the latest legal mess surrounding Newman Enterprises. Victor makes it clear that he expects Michael to put the Newman legacy first, no matter who gets crushed in the process. His ruthless determination this week proves he's not backing down from the corporate war that's brewing. Elsewhere, Kyle Abbott continues to spiral. His obsession with reclaiming Harrison's stability and keeping Audra out of their lives drives him into dangerous territory. Summer warns Kyle that his fixation is blinding him, but Kyle snaps back, insisting that anyone standing in his way will regret it. The tension between Kyle is nearing a breaking point. Phyllis proves once again why she's the queen of playing with fire. After Jack's warning, instead of backing off, she doubles down. This time, she secretly leaks insider information about Abbott's upcoming product launch to a rival, Tucker McCall. In a thrilling confrontation at the Grand Phoenix, Tucker and Phyllis strike a dangerous deal. Phyllis believes she's keeping herself ahead of Jack, while Tucker assures her that aligning with him is the smart move. But Tucker's smirk says it all. He's playing Phyllis just as much as she thinks she's playing him. Elsewhere, Billy Abbott grows increasingly suspicious of Phyllis' activities. Catching her in yet another hushed phone call, Billy warns her not to drag the Abbotts into her schemes. But Phyllis fires back, accusing Billy of hypocrisy for working behind Jack's back himself. Their exchange hints at the tangled web of betrayals about to implode. Meanwhile, Nick Newman finds himself torn once again between his loyalty to his family and his complicated connection with Sharon. With Sharon preparing for a new business venture, Nick questions whether he should keep a safe distance or allow old feelings to resurface. Their quiet moments spark nostalgia, but also reignite unfinished business that could shake things up for Sally and Adam. By midweek, the spotlight shifts back to Victor. Determined to tighten his grip, Victor issues orders that leave even his closest allies stunned. He begins pulling strings to ensure Newman Enterprises dominates, no matter the personal cost. Victoria Newman challenges her father, demanding answers. But Victor shuts her down coldly, making it clear that she either falls in line or risks being cut out. Victoria, who has fought tirelessly to maintain her power, realizes she may have underestimated her father's resolve. At the same time, Adam Newman senses opportunity. With Victor distracted by war games, Adam begins laying the groundwork to reclaim a position of power. His strategy? Aligning himself with an unexpected ally, Chelsea. The two share a surprisingly vulnerable conversation about their past mistakes, and while Chelsea remains hesitant, Adam's persistence may wear her down. Meanwhile, Kyle makes a shocking decision. Unable to trust Audra, he sets a legal trap designed to push her out of his life for good. But Audra is no fool, and the moment she discovers Kyle's manipulation, she vows to strike back harder than ever. The walls begin to close in on Phyllis. Jack receives a disturbing tip about someone leaking company secrets, and all signs point directly to her. He confronts her at the Abbott mansion in a blistering scene where Jack's disappointment outweighs his anger. "You've betrayed me, again," Jack declares, his voice shaking with both fury and heartbreak. Phyllis, cornered, scrambles to defend herself. She insists she had no choice, that she was protecting herself and her children. But Jack doesn't buy it. His warning from earlier in the week now echoes loudly, and this time, Jack may finally cut ties for good. Elsewhere, Summer Newman gets caught in the middle. When she discovers her mother's role in Jebot's troubles, Summer faces an agonizing choice: protect her mother or side with Jack and the family legacy. Her decision could alter the course of her relationships with both Kyle and Phyllis. In another corner of Genoa City, Billy Abbott finds himself drawn deeper into the chaos. He warns Jack that Tucker is orchestrating something bigger than anyone realizes. But Jack, consumed by Phyllis' betrayal, may not be in the right state of mind to hear him out. This misstep could give Tucker exactly the upper hand he needs. The week closes with a bombshell Friday cliffhanger. Just when Jack thinks he's pieced together Phyllis' betrayal, the full scope of Tucker's scheme comes to light. Tucker uses Phyllis' leak to stage a brutal corporate ambush against Jebot, threatening everything the Abbott family has worked for. In a tense meeting, Tucker smugly reveals his advantage, leaving Jack and Billy scrambling. But when Jack turns to Phyllis for answers, her silence confirms what everyone already suspects: she handed Tucker the weapon he needed. The betrayal sends shockwaves through Genoa City. Phyllis, defiant as ever, claims she did what she had to do. But Jack declares that she's crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. "We're finished," he tells her, his voice laced with finality. Meanwhile, Victor, watching from the sidelines, seizes the moment. With Jebot in crisis, Victor makes a bold move to expand Newman's empire even further. His ruthless timing cements his role as the ultimate power player in Genoa City. And in a final twist, Audra reveals her counterattack against Kyle.